Okay, here we go. Next part. So we are back. We've got our Magikarp out, and we're going to try and level him up. Shouldn't take much. He's 19 out of 20. Still not hugely useful for the electric gym or the water gym or anything, but better to have him. Gyarados, with bite alone is pretty good. Eventually gets Dragon Rage, which is pretty dope for it's a fixed damage move, which sucks for like the mid and late game, but for the early game it's pretty good. But yeah, I think I realised that Splash, God, I need to move the moves around. I thought I had already. Splash is such a waste of time. It's annoying. Imagine if he got crit killed here by level 8. That'd be so annoying after all that grinding. Yeah, see, that extra crick attack is always a pain. It still needs like 2 more battles. It's frustrating. Heal up. I'm trying to remember where we got to, like before. I think we are ready to take on Misty, or we have taken on Misty. I really should know. Yeah, of course, we got cut from the Cut Master. This is the thing. So, yeah, by going as far as the entrance to the rock tunnel, we can potentially capture 2 or 3 more Pokemon now. It's weird because the route outside Rock Tunnel actually includes the route that you come out of Rock Tunnel in, but there's nothing to catch on that half, so you can't get confused and accidentally catch too many Pokemon. Sweet Scent. I hate like paralysis because you're like, do I go back to the Pokemon Center for this one move? It's a pain in the ass. Here we go. That's what we wanted. Mega Punch. I hate anything with like less than 100% accuracy. 85 just means it misses a lot. Like, I don't know how they get these numbers, but anything less than 90, like, it's going to miss significantly. But it's double the power, so can't really argue that. Got to be done. I really should ditch Transform, but it's just such a cool move. I think I probably will ditch Transform eventually. Of course, Magikarp won't level up to the end of the battle, which is a weird system, but there you go. Just try punching him through the paralysis instead. Pow. Right in the kisser. Too many grass mons. Like, not enough fire mons for the stage of the game where you're fighting mostly grass. You don't have fire. It's like quite an odd situation unless you have Charmander, I guess. By the time you start getting fire dudes, there's a big drop off. Well, like Growlithe and Vulpix is like starts to be all water Pokemon down the sides and annoying poison coughings and shit on the west side. But we're getting a bit ahead of ourselves there. So I'm leveling now. If Surge is done, the levels to keep in mind are obviously Surges, but also Rival in Lavender. That's the fight we're aiming for. Again, I don't know what Pokemon he has now for sure, and I don't know which one's what level. I just know the levels of the ones he's got. There we go. Magic. Whenever I caught the red Gyarados from Silver and so on, I'd always call it Gary the Gyarados. But yeah, he's magic. Magikarp. Bellsprout, so he's kind of our cut guy, but he's not a terrible Pokemon to have around. Yeah, we need flash. Let's get rid of that paralysis. See what else we can catch along here. These annoying trainers getting in the way. Got to cook after this. I made some pumpkin sauce, pasta sauce. I got to actually make up the pasta now. Get cracking with it. It's other than fixing my phone, it's the last goal for my 2 days off. Back at work tomorrow. Slice that tree. So yeah, it's weird, this whole area of the game, like, I don't know if the power plant is like mentioned or if it's kind of like very kind of hidden, but this whole route, the whole route and the whole rock tunnel, it's such a, I wonder what their logic was, whether it was just to like, because they could have just not had this section, let you get straight to lavender and stuff, and then like just scaled all the levels down. Like, was it a runtime thing that they wanted to pad the game out? I don't get why they care. Or maybe it's like they had these 151 Pokemon and they need to geographically spread them out. So it's like, shit, what you better put. The trouble is you get Zubats and Geodudes again, you know. Karate Chop's vicious. Horrible move. But yeah, Mika's just tanky, so because he's got that high HP. Batter him. Yeah, I just wonder why they put these arbitrary detours. Because you're not even seeing that with your new Pokemon. I guess you can get Onyx. That's the one that's new. It'd be cool if the Versus Seeker worked on the gym leaders, actually. Poison powder. Sleeping is good for catching, and Rat will already do damage over time. The thing with the status moves is you can't change them. If you poison them, you can't then paralyze them. Which is weird, because why can't you be paralyzed and sick at the same time? I get that it would be OP, but you think they would at least work as like maybe a toggle. But then it would be weird if you could cure poison by paralyzing someone. You break someone's back after they've eaten something bad. It's not going to work, is it? So I wonder why it's like that, but Bullet Seed getting some use for once. But yeah, not a lot of noteworthy trainers in this area. But I know there's a Pokemon, there's a patch of grass up here, so Joey's got to stay back now, he's wounded. Bug catcher. See, annoyingly Joe would be good for that, but such is life. So I'm thinking Chilling is also good, but he's a bit lower level, so switching out from the Bellsprout would be a bit of a mission, so I've put him up front. So yeah, he could do some weird, like Fury Attack. Imagine if he hit 5 times with that. 3 and a crit is bad enough. Just need to land one more peck, and he wastes it on focus energy, which isn't going to help him if he's only got 1 turn left to live. Should have lived with that. Bam, level 20. I think I was trying to work out if this is definitely a different route. I'm paranoid about catching too many Pokemon and cheating. So there's a lot of deliberation. Hoping to get 5 on the Fury Attack, obviously. Nice crit, it's cool. That's it. 5 and a crit, 2 crits, it's incredible. So yeah, because he's a traded Pokemon, he's leveling faster, which isn't convenient for me. Knockoff gives him a dark move, which is cool. Gives him more type coverage. Get rid of one of the 2 middle ones. Sand Attack's useful for who switches somewhere else, they benefit from the sand. Charmander's cute. Chest him out. The annoying thing is I realise immediately he doesn't have any water moves. He doesn't get one upon levelling up, he just gets bite. Still need to move Splash at this point. There you go. But yeah, I'm going to have to like teach him a TM, because I know he gets like Hydro Pump at an incredibly high level, but he's a water type. He's half flying, half water. He gets no flying moves because he's a fish and he can't actually fly. And like, yeah, he then doesn't have any water moves either, so he's like got dual vulnerability to electric and partial vulnerability to grass, I guess, but doesn't do what he needs to do. Oh, he's half dragon actually, I think. Oh, yeah. I think maybe in red and stuff he was half flying, but he's definitely half dragon now in this gen. More bugs. Peck him to death. Shame he doesn't evolve at all, because Farfetch is probably way stronger than a Pidgey, but he's probably not stronger than a Pidgeot. And you know, he's vulnerable with that low HP. You know, if he's got low HP because he's not fully evolved and lower stats, you just can't have a bird like that that could be one-shotted. You got the Galarian one, which is pretty massive now in the new games. Pretty big boy. Different leak. He's got like a stick instead of a leak or something. Yes, there's definitely a grass patch here as well too. And we've got the tunnel itself, which we're treating as one. So I don't know if I mentioned it before, but the way this game does shinies is there's like a weird system where there's like a certain tile you stand on, and that's like a toggle, I guess, or it's either if you happen to run into one on that moment, or whether it's like the next Pokemon you run into will be shiny. But it's a bit weird because I'm not cheating, I'm not looking up where those panels are, but like it's still, I feel like that's still more common. You're more likely to step on a panel by accident than you are actually going to like get a shiny in the normal way. And I do wonder if you can still get shinies the regular way as well. It's not entirely clear. But here we go, let's see what happens. Horrible darkness. Hit the ladder by accident. Let's see what we can find. It'd be cool to get an Onyx or something fully evolved, you know. Here we go, what are we going to get? A dude. He's a weird one, I always think of him as rock, but I think he's half ground as well. So we knock him out, wound him a bit. Cut does basically next to nothing, but now anything strong. That's the trouble when you try a weak move and it's too weak. If you then switch back to a moderately strong move, you're worried that will be too strong and it will finish him off because he's already wounded, and it's always a pain in the ass. Now he's going to be defense curling to shit, it's going to take even longer, so I think probably just best to start chucking, lobbing stuff at him. Refresh the wrap. He should be getting into yellow territory now. Soon enough. Perfecto. Yeah, I never liked his I always thought Golem was cool, but he's one of those annoying ones that can only evolve by trading in the base game. And like I thought Graveler looked stupid. And it's always frustrating to have like a Pokemon that's like 2/3 of its own potential. So as a result, I never really used the Geodude line at all. In Gold and stuff, there's an Onyx you get on really early on, so coverage-wise, you wouldn't have both. So yeah, never really used Onyx. I always assumed was more powerful than he actually was. Like I was watching some videos and everyone's saying that like he's actually garbage stats and stuff. I think he's fast for a rock Pokemon, but he's actually really weak in other ways. because he's a one stager. So yeah, he's just not as good as the 3-stage ones. Way more tired than I thought I was. So yeah, I always give them some variation of like, when I was a kid I used to give him some variation on like cool or shade, like sunglasses or something, because he's a Geo dude, right? So he's cool. But I like the idea that like Geo is like the world and dude is like cool, so he's cool wherever he goes. And that reminds me of the hip hop thing of like being omni hood, being like accepted in any hood because you're that cool. So yeah, that's the reference to his name. It's the KRS-One lyric, I guess. So we got him. Let's see who else we can get. We can get a Torb, which is cool because we haven't got any electric coverage at all yet. Unfortunately, I've always felt like he's a pretty rubbish Pokemon. Sonic Boom is too vicious. He's down into the yellow. And yeah, they famously have self-destruct, that line, but it's useless in Nuzlocke, so it's pretty much useless. I guess it'd be funny if you got all the way to like the Elite Four with Explosion. Used it on the last one or something. Very kind of intense. If you had 2 Pokemon left, both wounded, they have 1 left. Both wounded, and you know that, yeah, you would lose, right? The game counts it as a loss, I think. A double KO is a loss. He's like a ball, isn't he? And he's a volleyball, That's a stretch, but again, I start to run out of nicknames. I don't know what I used to call Voltorbs back in the day. I used to name every Pokemon. I had like, I guess, 151 names. Well, that's not true. The evolutions would, keep the same name. So yeah, this is a separate route, Route 9, so there is another Pokemon to be had, which is cool. Fight all these trainers. Yeah, so we haven't done Surge yet, I definitely remember. Easy win for Bellsprout. Of course, trouble is we've got 2 Flyings and a Water guy on our sort of A team at the moment, so that's kind of weird. It's not great for the Electric Gym. Let's give it a go. It's funny trying to talk to the guy and he's turning away from you. I remember that from Red and Blue, that item being there. But yeah, it's... If you've got the Pokemon. Clumsy. Foolish move. That guy just does not want to look at me. Okay, here we go. We already had one of those before, so we can't catch it again. Motherfucking thing is 2 levels lower than me. It nearly pecked us to death. That'd be such a frustrating way to lose them on, especially with one that's the HM slave. Annoying bird. Here we go. Don't want a repeat of that. We'll switch him out. And yeah, Numon. Ekans, not a great Pokemon as far as I understand it, stats and moves, but he's not vulnerable to electric, and he's new. I know he can learn Dig, or at least Arbok can. Bite's not quite a good move, and the ability to poison people is useful. He's not terrible, in my opinion, for the early mid game. But yeah, Shed Skin is fucking annoying. At least he can't shed the Leech Seed as far as I know. Put him back to sleep. I'll only be shedding that, if at all. Not entirely sure how that works, how often they can use it, if it's a random chance or not. He's not down to yellow yet, but fuck it. He's pretty low level. A basic stage Pokemon. Pow. Snake was caught. Oh damn, I've just thought of a way cooler name. You could do a reference to Metal Gear. You could have called him like Solid or something. Long. Being indecisive. Yeah, this is a good reference coming up. Took me a minute, but I'm trying to think of the character limit. Who's the biggest snake you know? Owned. Can't spell. Delete too many characters. This is a frustrating episode. Yep. Call out again. Just the pun is already worn thin in the amount of time it took me to enter it into the system. Boom. Liz Warren. Snake. Absolute snake. So, we now just have to choose if we want anyone else to replace our team for Surge, and then we have to grind them off screen because that would be boring. And finally, time for another badge. Let's see who we got. Get rid of the flying guys and the water guys. Think about using the new ones, but I haven't decided not to yet. Yeah, and if these other ones are actually good, my thinking is even if I lose some in this battle, if these new ones are actually good, then I'm saving them for later and not losing them early. But yeah, I don't know why I struggled to get 3 when I only drew 2. I must have been falling asleep when I was playing this because I'm acting like a dummy. But back to the storage. Yeah, and I realise I can get both our new guys. Voltorb is at least probably not weak to electricity. Sonic Boom's pretty good at this level. And Liz Warren is just, you know, another solid Pokemon. Zubat would be vulnerable too. Considered bringing Paris. A lot of these ones, they don't have as okay move coverage, to be fair, the Chameleon. But God knows what the bug does or doesn't learn. He hasn't even got 4 moves, the other guy, so it takes me a while, but I need to put some background music on or something for these slow parts where not a lot happens. I'm so forgetful, I have to check things like 5 times. guess I'm looking for anything that would affect rock, like the ground or something, you know. Anything in sand attack. Oh my god, past me, pick one already, fucking hell. What was I looking for? I think I'm torn between the chameleon and the snake. There you go. So, off-screen grinding incoming. Yeah, not the most exciting part, but the next one will contain a badge attempt. And then we'll be on our way. Bellsprout seriously needs a name. And that's weird, it seems to have frozen up. But yeah, that's about it. So, see you next time.